Hi there, and welcome to Tits, Tattin' Trinkets. In this exciting episode, we're going to be looking at the cleverly named Gashapon Quest. Is it a reference to Gacha and Conquest, or just a nod to Dragon Quest? You decide. This wave is subtitled Kemono Hito no Kuni Potoru, Portal to the Beast World, from Bandai. Each spin of the knob requires 500 yen, and there are 7 varieties of which to partake. First lot is this hammer and club option, specifically listed as weapons for the Beast Bloke. Kemono no Suchi. These are for the Beast Boy, but can be used for whatever you like. The whole thing about this Gashapon Quest series seems to be customization. The colours and paint on these is really good. If you get just one though, you'll have to choose between the weapons. You only get one staff, and yet you get 2 ends. So you can choose between either the hammer or the mace. Next up is this belt armor set. Seems a bit light and kind of lacking. Does look good on figures though, but when I rolled for these I ended up with 3 of the damn things. Without any figures to use them with, it's extremely useless and definitely doesn't feel like there is 500 yen worth of value. The paintwork though is surprisingly good. The buckles are painted and things are looking pretty nice, to be honest. These loop things are used for holding swords and other weapons, and you need to clip them onto the belt. The pouches are also clipped on the same way. Note that one belt is smaller than the other. If you want to use the pouches and stuff, you have to use the bigger belt. The small belt fits snugly around the lady's waist, and the bigger belt can be wrapped around people's chests. Also, when this chest piece is in place, there is a big booby window. Not much in the way of protection there, but okay. Next up is the magical stick and holy cane. These are okay, I guess, but their bright colors really don't match with the female warrior's dark evil elf look, nor do they match with the beast guy. The paintwork is incredibly nice and they do look great. If I only had figures to match. Next up is the Intetsu no Yoroi meteorite armor sets. These are broken up into upper and lower sets. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. Actually, it's probably to do more with money. I got the lower set, no problem, but I had a heck of a time getting the upper set. That is the reason why I have about 60 of the belt armor sets. It looks nice, with new legs, skirts, and armored bits. The upper set has chest armor, armored hands, armored forearms, pauldrons, and elbow guards. Very cute. This one was the final roll. Once I got these, I thought, this'll do me. Plus I had at least one of everything else. Again, it looks great, but if you just roll this, it's not rocking 500 yen's worth of value. Now, time to move on to the figures. Looking at the Kemono Hito, literally hairy person. This Beast Boy seems cute enough and alright. I was expecting the same build as these Aqua Shooter figures I've been chasing. They look really similar, right? But the build is quite a bit different. Gashapon Quest has a few more points of articulation, and you don't have to pin your own joints. Yay and boo at the same time. While they generally look as solid as the better assembled Aqua Shooters, they have simplified them a little bit. One part that irritates me immensely is the shoulder joints. Aqua Shooters have you pinning the hinge in. It's sometimes a real pain in the butt, but it is pretty solid. Gashapon Quests, you have 2 halves of the joint. Simple, Yes, but every time I try to move the shoulder, the joint breaks in half. It's really easy to reassemble, but kind of defeats the purpose of the joint in a way. It's super frustrating, especially on the lady warrior when she's fully armored up. However, back to the Beast Boy. He looks fine and kind of friendly actually. A lot like something you'd find on Animal Crossing, you know. In a way, the previously mentioned beast person's weapons kind of don't suit him so much, you know? He doesn't look like he's a warrior character at all. The articulation is pretty good.
He has a little ball-jointed head, which gives him some wiggle room, although it's restricted by the hair. He has pretty good motion in the shoulders, if it stays on. And up, down, there we go. Elbows can get just slightly less than a 90-degree bend. And he has swivels at the wrist because you can just plug them and plug them back in again. There is no waist because of the way he joins together. There's a tiny little bit of waggle, I guess, from the tail. Not really, doesn't count though. The legs though are extremely limited. Let's have a look. See, from the hips you can get that far. Any more than that and you risk popping it off. You can go that far back as well. So just kind of like very disappointingly. Oh, hello. There we go. Tiny bit more. Very limited range on the hips there. The knees are about the same as well because of the way they're sculpted with these puffy pants. So that is about the best kind of step you can get.
Moving on to the main draw, the Ondakishi female knight, as they describe her. But she is an elf who looks pretty damn good. Articulation is great. The hair, however, is incredibly restrictive though. Balance is a bit of an issue. She has these high-heeled boots. Watch out for the ankle joints when assembling. They are a total pain in the thumbs. They are assembled with a tiny piece and it's really hard to get in. The paintwork, however, is pretty good and her face is extremely well detailed. Now let's get her armor on. Whew, she looks great. However, the figure is essentially immovable. The pauldrons and the hair combo block the head from moving, assuming they stay on. Whenever I go to move her arm a little bit, either the pauldron or her shoulder comes off. The waist armor restricts a lot of leg movement as well. No running here, she can kind of go for a casual stroll. Also, most of the weapons, i.e. a hammer or a mace, do not look right for her. She needs like some kind of magical sword or not these magic ones, that's for sure. Overall, I quite enjoy these guys. However, I think that only going for a single piece from the gacha machine is a waste of time. This set is an all or nothing kind of thing. If you get a figure, great, but you'll always need some accessories for them. If you only get accessories, then you're shit out of luck. I went in with a bunch of money and a determination to get cracking. I was mentally prepared for extra ones, which I then sold off. Unfortunately, it's the only way to go. So, while they are a good little thing and quite a bit of decent fun, and they look great, I guess the biggest problem they face is the way they are sold. They don't quite work well within a gacha system, and I suspect normal retail sales would be hard to pull off. You'd either be looking at, say, 1,000 yen per figure, but then how do you do the accessories? Do you buy the whole wave at once? I'm not too sure people would feel that forking out 3,500 yen at once would be value for what they get. Nevertheless, at the very least they are cleverly designed, quality, fun little figures. And if you feel like wasting a bit of time and money on them, well worth a check. That's all for now, so thanks for watching.